We're live, y'all. Welcome. My first live. Technical difficulties. Make your way over. Um, I'm letting everyone know because it's a struggle stream. My first time, so we're making it work, y'all. We're making it work. I don't even know how to send the link. Help me out, y'all. Say hello in the chat. Let me know you're here. Welcome. Greetings. Greet me if you want me to say hello. So we had a couple of difficulties. Let me know if y'all can share the stream with people, but it looks like y'all are popping in here, so that's great. Hello, everyone. Please come say hello in the chat. Hi, thank you for saying hello. So I'm back. I'm here in South Africa. I'm so happy to be back in South Africa. And yeah, it just feels amazing. I got in yesterday and it felt like I never left. So excited to be back here. Um, yes, hello everyone. Hi Kai. Hi Alicia. Hey Move Arounds. Edward. Uh, ugh, Eugene. Okay, my South African brother or sister. Oh, that's a sister. Zolani. Zolani. Did I say it right? Let me know. Let me know because I'm getting there. I'm learning Swani, Zulu, Xohsa. I'm learning, y'all. I'm learning. So, yes, please. Yeah, let me know if I said that right, sis or bro. I can't really see your picture. Is really small. Hello, I'm here all the way from Pretoria, South Africa. Let me say, hey, meeting you. Hello. Yes, I'm back home. I'm back home. It's my first live. Can y'all hear me okay? Leave me a number 1 in the chat if you can hear me okay. Let me know if you can't hear me. Leave me a number 2. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Kai. And there is a small delay. So I opened up the chat for everyone, but if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And also be sure to like the stream. There's 20 of us. Let's get to 15 likes. Support the stream. Yes, I have. I've been learning, as I can. I want to show a level of respect being here in the country. So yeah, I'm trying. Hi, Brenton. What's up? Um, Sawubona. Sawubona. Did I say it right? Hello, sis. We're here live from Durban. Hey, Durban, KZN, the kingdom of the legendary emperor King Shaka Zulu. That's right. That's right. And the airport is Shaka Zulu Airport. I was like in love, okay, when I got to KZN. Be sure to like the stream. Yeah, like the stream, y'all. And show me some love in the chat. Where have I been? Wow, I'm learning. Yes. Hello. Tell us what time it is. So it is 8:12 here, 8:12 p.m. or 20. Is it 2000? Y'all tell me what y'all say, but yeah, it's 8:30. Y'all, this is like, I'm so excited to be live. I've been so nervous to go live with y'all, but y'all have been so supportive. Thank you for all of your love and your support of the channel. We're growing. It's really great to know that y'all are finding value in the content. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Sound is okay? Yeah? All right. Awesome. So we're going to get into it, but I need like 3 more likes, y'all. I need 3 more likes. Let's get to 14 likes. So I can start and talking about what's going on and how I've been here for 24 hours and I've learned so much in 24 hours. Yes, thank y'all for getting the likes up. That's right. Y'all are legit. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Um, thank you. Thank you. Sawubona. Ah, it was fire. Yes. Okay, I'm working on it. Okay, so I have notes always, right? I always have notes. And I've learned so much in just 24 hours being back in South Africa. I am in Johannesburg. And so, as many of you know, if you don't know, I am African American. I moved to the continent of Africa in 2020 of October, and I moved to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. So I'm still living there now, but I am transitioning here to South Africa because ultimately this is where I really want to settle my family, my business, and build a life here. I love South Africa, the people, the weather, the everything, but most of all the people for sure. So this is my second time in South Africa. I'm going to be here for a minute. I'm here doing tours for schools, looking at apartments and houses, look or flats, you might call them, connecting with people, my South African friends, connecting with my African American friends that are repatriated or that are looking to repatriate, and also even like some new friends that I've met that really love South Africa. So I'm thrilled to be here. And yeah, I went out to dinner last night, y'all. I was so hungry. So again, like some of y'all may know, I was doing a fast, fruit fast for like 2 weeks. I was doing the fruit fast. I knew I had that upcoming surgery. So I wanted to make sure that my body was clean and I would heal like really quickly. I was already mad nervous. Like I was so nervous. My friend was texting me last night asking me how I was like healing because he was nervous for me, but he was also nervous for the hospital in the event that something happened. Like he knew I was gonna like shut it down, but not literally shut it down, but probably complain. Um, but all was well. I was so pleased. I got the ultimate care, but going back to the fact that I was cleansing and doing only fruit for 2 weeks, I lost a good amount of weight, like I think 7 kgs. So that's like 15 pounds US. Um, and yeah, I feel great. I feel better. But I knew once I got to South Africa, I was going to eat and probably gain 5 kgs back. The food here is so good, y'all. It's so good. It's amazing. It's amazing. So yeah, we went out to dinner in this really, really cute neighborhood in Sandton, and the food was amazing. The wine was amazing. The company was amazing. I spent time with, yeah, some South African friends, and they were just schooling me, y'all, like giving me so much knowledge, shifting my perspective in so many ways, and I learned so much in these last 24 hours of being here. So I want to talk about that, but let me hop into the comments. Greet me. Go ahead and say hello if you want to be greeted. Let me know where you're checking in to the chat from. So yeah, Kelvin said, I love that you said I'm back home because I am. Yes, I'm home. I'm home. East Babylon damn sure isn't home for us. Let some people tell it. That's their homeland forever. I'm just not about that life. I'm about going where I'm treated best, right? Like that's a mantra that I didn't develop, but a digital mentor who, has done that, left America and went to where he was treated best. And that's what I'm doing. So that's what I found here in South Africa. Bena Ata just wanted to share with the diaspora. It's best not to sell any houses, condos, just rent it out because Africa can be expensive. So renting can give you passive income. Yeah, that's a good point. It just depends on your priorities and it depends on what you value, right? Like, do you enjoy being a landlord? And are you going to be an efficient landlord from another continent? Are you going to want to have to go back and forth to deal with issues? Just depends on your, how you feel. Kevin, people should be calling the West Rome, not Babylon, if they know biblical history. All right, now. Yes, Kelvin, hit the like button. Appreciate it. Hello, Ash, looking beautiful. Excuse me. Thank you so much. We're excited to have you back. Yes, me too. Africa is king. Welcome home, sis. Thank you so much. I feel the love. I feel the welcome. I had a fabulous welcome dinner last night. It was so lit. Like, I haven't had that much fun in so long. Like, I haven't laughed that hard, enjoyed myself in so long. And of course, it would be back home, like in South Africa after the 7 months that I've had. Hi, Ashley. I'm connecting from Johannesburg. Hi. Okay. Siabonga. Did I say that right? Siabonga? Siabongo? Bonga? Yeah. Did I say it right? Greetings. Welcome back, sis. Yes, some more. Thank you. Get an agent. What do you mean get an agent? Like real estate? Yeah, I already got one. I have and a couple recommendations. But if you can recommend somebody, yeah, leave them in the chat for me. And my email is always in the description. So go ahead and leave me and send me an email if you have a recommendation for someone I should be working with. Sebo. Hi, Ashley. I have to thank you for standing up for South Africa. I've seen you have subtle deals with negativity. Yeah, I try not to entertain the negativity. I recognize that people know what they know. And sometimes people are really committed to what they've been told. I had a conversation, not really a conversation, but in the chat the other day, or was it today? I think someone was talking about how you know, a certain group of people own 90% of the land here and run or rule was the word they used. And I just invited them to do more research because you can't believe everything you hear. Yes. I'm doing good on my Zulu. Appreciate you. I love y'all too. I really do. I really love South Africa. I love the people. It just feels like home. It feels like home. Thank you, Juan. I appreciate it. Yes, get the likes up. Let me know you're liking the stream. Um, yeah, so it does. It really does feel like home. And I learned so much. And five things isn't really going to cover. I mean, I was blown away with some of the things that we talked about yesterday, and we had some wine. So, again, I haven't had wine in almost like 7 months. So, I was really a lightweight. This is water, y'all, by the way, but I enjoy drinking water out of a wine glass, especially in the evening time. It makes me feel sophisticated, as I am. But so some of these things I didn't remember, but there were a few things that really stuck out that I was like, this morning I wrote down and I just was blown away, right? So the first thing I learned about South Africa in my first 24 hours back was about this woman named Wendy Appelbaum, who is said to be the richest woman in South Africa. So the story is we were ordering wine, and my friend ordered, what was it, DMZ? Or no, is that right? It was a DMZ Chenin Blanc. So he orders the wine and he starts telling me the story. He's like, yes, this is like the richest family in South Africa. And let me tell you how they got their land. So he tells me a story of how this family got their land from um, being the largest meat distributor in South Africa. And so he says that then he asked me like, well, how did they get the meat to distribute? And I was like, from cows? He said, yeah, but where'd they get the land? And I was like, of course, the South Africans. So this morning I'm trying to do all of my research. And while I found that, this woman, Wendy Appelbaum, inherited most of her wealth from her father, Donald Gordon, there's not a lot of information on him. All you see on him is that he's known for being a South African businessman and philanthropist. That's code for he done some stuff that we don't want y'all to know about. And he gives a lot of his money away because he feels pressured to do so. And when I saw the picture of Miss Wendy Appelbaum, I said, she looked like she got some melanin in her. She definitely was looking a little melanated. So in one article, I saw that she doesn't usually speak of her ethnicity. And then in another article, I saw that she is classified as the richest Black South African woman and the richest South African woman. Is that right? Is that right, y'all? Let me know in the comments. Um, because I was blown away and the wine was fantastic. So I did a little research on Miss Appelbaum, and she's got the bread, right? But I also understand like, where that money, all money isn't great money or good money is the saying, right? So yeah, I learned about Miss Wendy Appelbaum and, you know, her wealth and her riches and what she's doing now. And she's also known as a businesswoman and philanthropist. Again, code word for making money and giving it away because they got to. There's a lot of pressure to do so. So yeah, what do y'all know about that family? What can you share about that in the comments? Let me know. Let me get in some of these comments. Um, Life with Rosiana. Hi, you're looking beautiful. Thanks. That's what's up. I wish I could figure out how to put the comments on the screen. I don't know. So you're gonna have to work with me, y'all. This is my first stream. So you know, we're getting it together. We're getting it together. I'm gonna be a pro at this in no time. Yeah, thank you. So, well, let me look in the comments. Are you setting in Joburg, Durban, or Cape Town? I really think it's going to be Johannesburg. I love Durban. I really enjoy it. But most of my network is here in Johannesburg. And so that's really important when you're, building a business and also when you're a single mom. Like that network, that community is everything. So it's definitely looking like Johannesburg. I'm going to talk up because it doesn't feel like my sound is good. Y'all let me know if you can hear me okay. Leave me a number 1 in the comments. If not, I'll get my headphones, my AirPods, so I can talk a little louder. Yes, please share real estate agents and interior designers. Yeah, the interior design, the home goods, like is on a next level here. Architecture and interior design, and because most of the furnishings and art is made by Africans, so like the home decor here is next level. Like America could never. We love you, beautiful sister. Thank you so much. I love you too. Hi, Ashley. This is my first live, but I haven't viewed some of your content. Or you have. Thank you. I'm looking forward to traveling there soon. Yes. Yes, Christine. Welcome. Thank you so much. I hope you're subscribed to the channel. Yeah, let me know how I can help. A lot of my contact information is in the description. I do help people that have interest in relocating to the continent, specifically South Africa and Tanzania. I'm not a relocation agent, but I do support women and families, entrepreneurs coming from the US and giving them my personal experience because, sometimes it helps to hear what someone else has done to help you along the way. Neek, Holland, hey, I like your energy. Thank you so much. I'm so glad I came up in the algorithm too. So you were researching to move abroad with your toddler. Oh, dope. You've been to Cape Town and Dar es Salaam. Yes, I love that. I wonder what you think. What do you think about both? They're so different, right? They're way different. East Africa is totally different from South Africa. It's totally different from West Africa. Way different from North Africa, right? Okay, awesome. Have you ever heard of her? You've never heard of her? Oh, wait, I skipped some people. Palesa. Hi, I'm so happy to see you. Thank you. Welcome back to South Africa. Thank you. Thank you for the welcome. I didn't bring my girls with me. They're still in Dar es Salaam. They're in school. So they love school. They love me too. And they would have loved to come. But they needed to finish school. They're in their last term and they've only got a couple more weeks left. So I was using this time really to work on a couple things. I'm working on a book. Yes, y'all, I'm working on a book. A lot of people have asked me for, kind of on an ebook on how to experience Africa or travel and move to Africa, specifically Tanzania and Africa and South Africa. So I'm going to do that. I'm excited to do that. And, that's hard to do when you've got children running around. So I'm really going to focus on that while I'm here. And the goal is to finish it before I head back. So that's my goal. You've never heard of her. Yes, look her up after this live. Yes, please, after the live, stay connected, stay in the room. Yeah, so she's the richest woman in South Africa, and also in some articles, the richest Black woman in South Africa. And the wine is bomb. There are a lot of African women or women of color who are wealthy, but they're very low key. There's a woman who owns a wine farm as well. Yeah, she does. She owns a wine farm. But yeah, like they are very low key here. And I like that. It's different from coming from the US where like people are vying for being the wealthiest on the Forbes list. And I love that. There's a level of humility to that I think is really dope. It's like low key, move in silence. I'm all about that. True, I think she is the richest in South Africa. Okay, so my brother or my sister, Segale, is co-signing for me. Yeah, so neat. Connect with me. I appreciate it. I get it. I understood what you said. You love my energy. I appreciate that. Josie is where the money is in South Africa, is where the money reside. So I'm trying to be in community as I'm building my business with people that can really help me. I need mentors, right? So I need a mentor that can really help me to build a business here. And that was my biggest struggle, or is my biggest struggle in Tanzania, is finding a mentor, because doing business in Africa is so different than doing business in the US. And granted, doing business in different countries is also different in different countries. And, I tell you guys all the time, like, I don't speak the language as well as I'd like to. And so some of those things make it really challenging for me to find the type of support that I need. And, I'm very ambitious and like really like about getting things done. So I don't want to waste time. I do have a level of patience, understand there's patience involved, but I want to um, really like get to work. And so I feel like I'll be able to find that mentor here in South Africa. So Abenas is being controversial. I think West Africans are the most African. All right. That's very controversial. We're not doing that today. Vivian Kleins is one of the few South African women who owns wine farm. Yeah, look her up. Okay. Thank you. So sound is good. Oh, I know. Durban is an hour. I love Durban. At some point, I am manifesting a home in Durban as well. So I love Durban. I cannot get enough of Durban. I really want to be in Durban like a lot. So I'm not counting Durban out completely, but for the short term, Joburg is where we'll be. Um, Abena, every year you go to Accra, seeing more and more non-Black tourists. Yeah, yeah. Going home and seeing only Black people when I'm out of Accra for like a month is therapeutic. Yeah, I get that. I understand. Home decor is what we pride ourselves with, says Sebo. Your brother is an architect and his wife is an interior designer. Yes, that's South Africa is way up there. Like really up there. I don't know. I would say leading in African design. I mean, and everybody takes from Africa. So honestly, leading in world interior design, I would say South Africa is way up there. What's up, WT Funk? What's going on? Thank you. Yes, surgery was positive, healing well. What's the title of the book? I don't know. I'm still working on it. My 11-year-old is also helping me. But if you have any suggestions, you can leave it in the chat. I'd love to hear that. Yes, so Neek says, yes, they are. I went back in 2015 with my college USC to film a documentary. That side of Western world, they do not show. Yes, okay. So y'all are talking to each other. I appreciate that. Andy, what's up? Thank you for saying hello. Christine, you have a 6 and 8-year-old and a business. So I will definitely be scheduling with you soon. Yes, Christine, please reach out to me. I would love to support you on your journey. Let's talk over a coffee meeting. Are you around Pretoria? Atabong. Oh, wait, let me see. Atabong Wong. Atabong Wong. Atabong Wong. Did I say it right? Trying. I'm not in Pretoria, but I'm in Johannesburg. So I know that's not super far, but I'm not in Pretoria and I'm not driving. So it's Uber life over here. Are you willing to collab? Collab with what? Business? Yeah, just let me know. What do you mean collab with what? Good evening, Lucky. Josie is great for business. Ash, Cape Town is okay. Yeah, I think I want to visit Cape Town, but I love nature. I love the beauty of Cape Town. I'm just not sure it's like the vibe for me necessarily. And like, but I think it's a beautiful, beautiful world-class city. So I might go to Cape Town during this trip, honestly. Andy says, in your opinion, it's best to form partnerships with the right people. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's necessary. And in fact, collaboration is how we grow. Like we have to do things together. What WT Funk is saying, affirming Ashley. Are you talking about your rabbit? Yes, I'm doing great in pronunciation. Yes, thank you. How do you contact me, Neek? Email address, not sure if it's in the description box yet. Okay. Um, so go to another video of mine. It should absolutely be in the description of like all of them. I will update it now, but it should be. Let me see if I can put it in there now. But it's literally in all of my other video description. There's an email, there's also a link to my calendar, and the course, the registration to the Expat Expense, which is the ultimate financial blueprint to living abroad. So it's a big tool for people that want to move abroad, really anywhere in the world. But I share personal tips and tricks on how I did it and have been able to maintain in Africa, because everybody's journey is different and your journey is not going to look like mine, but a big part of being successful is being financially prepared. And so that's what we talk about in the course. And the reviews have been great. Hello, Ashley. A big hello from Cape Town. Hello, Ricardo. Hello, welcome. Um, Zico, did you come with my kids? Nope, I didn't come with the kids. SA welcomes me. Thank you. Cape Town is beautiful, but racist AF. Yeah. That's what I keep hearing, right? But I also recognize that, like, oh, affirming Ashley as a book. I like that. I need to write that down. I like that. That's dope. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, I keep hearing that about Cape Town, but I try not to believe everything I hear. I think that does us a disservice, right? Because we're told a lot of things about the continent. I think everybody can have a different experience, but for the most part, I think it's pretty consistent outside of being a tourist, what I would experience if I was living there long term. Yeah, affirming Ashley, I like that. Didn't come with the kids. You look like us South Africans. Ooh, thank you. Can I say Dumelang? Did I say it right? Dumelang. Setswana, 2 of the 11 official languages in South Africa. It's a greeting, and I would like to hear you say it. Did I say it right? Dumelang and Setswana. Listen, I need to learn the greetings, but I was with my friends yesterday and they greeted so differently. Like every time they saw somebody, they had a different greeting. And I think it was different languages. I'm like, how do you know what language said person speaking? So I'm really excited about learning the language. I feel like I have the greetings down packed in Swahili. So now it's just an opportunity to learn more. Hi, Ashley. This is Millet from ABA. I'm using someone's computer. Keep Dr. Hearn in your prayers. Yeah, I did see that. Yes, I did. I saw that. And she's definitely an amazing person that I'm sending her all of the positive energy and vibes. Like, I get it. And she talked a lot about that, doing business and really focusing on herself, because growing a business is hard work, especially in Africa when you're coming from the West. It's hard. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sending her all the positive energy, like for sure. Thanks, Ajalon, for saying hello. Atabongwong. Yes, I like that book title, Encounters, A Journey of 1,000 Miles. Y'all are like so creative. I love it. Hello from Seoul, miss home, but but hey, everywhere is racist. You just need to find your peace wherever you go. That's true, Leonda. How is Seoul? Is it racist there? I love Seoul, but also I was there as a tourist, so yeah, I had a beautiful experience. Onkong Gopse, yes, experience it for myself. On Gopotse. On Gopotse. I'm trying. I'm trying. Forgive me. Forgive me. Yes, I experience it for myself. I think that's really important. Cape Town is a beautiful city, amazing scenery. Josie is the heartbeat. I agree. Thank you. Thank you, WT Funk. Yes, YouTube, it can get weird, y'all. It can get weird on these YouTubes. So that's part of the reason why I was really nervous to go live, but y'all are great. Um, Siabonga says we speak different languages here. Yes, I know. You find one person speaking five other. Yes, I understand that South Africans speak like 5 or 6 languages minimum. And fascinating, fascinating. The practice makes perfect. I'm working on it. Welcome, my sister. Thank you, Richard. Juan says you live in Cape Town. It's okay here. You have to experience Cape Town for yourself. Yeah, I agree, Juan. I agree. And I think that's really important for me to experience it for myself. All right, so let me jump back into the next thing that I learned about Africa, or excuse me, South Africa in my short 24 hours during my dinner. So I learned this that so my friend tells me we're talking about, we're having a conversation and we're in this restaurant. It's like an Italian restaurant, really cute in a neighborhood called Parkhusrt. Little neighborhood in Sandton. I could definitely, tell it was, a little upscale, or it was very reminiscent of like somewhere in DC called Georgetown, or parts of New Orleans where they've just kind of come and like set up shop, and you know what I mean when I say they. But it was cute, it was a nice little place to go my first night, and the majority of people in there were definitely white. And my friend is speaking to me and he's loud. He's like, these white people in South Africa, he's telling me about Wendy Appelbaum and her family. And I just I loved it because he was so comfortable, like saying white people, these white people, like out loud. And when I responded to him, I was like, "Yeah, the white people." And I said, "Do you see that I just whispered?" He was like, "Yeah, why?" I'm like, "It's just by design." That was something that, in the US, we are very much like muted in the presence of white people. And like, oh, like I don't like that. But I could see just the pride and like the confidence that we just don't realize we lack. Um, oh, I didn't nobody tell me I had a little bat in the cave. Excuse me, let me turn let me turn around. Excuse me, let me get a little tissue, y'all. Let me get a tissue. Okay. Okay. All right. So back to my story. Where was I? So yeah, so just like the confidence, and I was telling him, yeah, like this is different. It's different for me. And like he's asking me, why is that? And I was like, well, we're oppressed people, and just we don't talk about race. We don't talk about race like that unless, we're collectively we're collectively grouped together, and set we call ourselves minorities, we call ourselves this, but black, like to say we're black, we only say that really amongst each other. In rooms of white people, like we're minorities, or we're people of color, or we're BIPOC, or whatever that new term is that they started saying in 2020 and beyond. So yeah, so anyway, he still tells me that before apartheid, so the number two thing I learned, if you were an oppressed group of people living in South Africa before apartheid, you were considered Black. So if you were anything other than white, right? Asian, which Asians are considered Indians here. The Chinese, they call Oriental. In the US, we are told that that is like offensive, but they call them Orientals. Chinese, Japanese, I don't know all of the other designations at the top of my head. So he said that they were all considered Black. But after 1994, after apartheid was lifted or, over, they then became that race, right? Like, or that nationality. But before 1994, if you were an oppressed group, meaning you were not white, you were considered Black in the Constitution. Is that true? So I, again, try to do some research and I really didn't find consistent information on that. But I was blown away. I was like, really? They made everybody Black? Now, I do understand that there were like different ways in which they segmented, um, you know, races, right? Like that during apartheid. So, for people that don't know, right, apartheid was a system of legislation upheld by segregational policies against non white citizens of South Africa, right? So, everybody who wasn't white. And after the party gained power in South Africa, that government began enforcing existing policies of racial segregation. So, under apartheid, non white South Africans, the majority of the population, would have to live in separate areas, use separate facilities, and like not have access to like higher level education, and just a better way of life. Contact between the two groups was limited, and like totally marriage was illegal and like not allowed. So, the races were white, Black, and colored. Colored, did I say it right? Colored. Um, yeah, and like how they would designate them, would be like the way they behaved, just their mannerisms, but also like this, the pencil test. Yeah, so I was shocked. I was shocked. I was blown away by that. But then I couldn't find any information that justified it, that said it was true. Ondela says, yep, that's true. Either you were white or you were Black. Wow. Why do you think they hide that information from people? I'll get into that later, but why is that? It's just like not available. They're erasing our history and I don't like it. I don't like it. So y'all see I'm trying, right? I appreciate it. Thanks, Pum. Did I say right? Pum? Thank you. The way Ashley is spelling and trying to pronounce the names is cute and hilarious. I know I sound crazy, but I'm trying, y'all. Korea is Korea, says Luyanda's very friendly, but however, in the process of people protecting their cultures, it can come off in the wrong way somehow. Yes, I will enjoy my time. One of my favorite songs is by a Korean K-pop artist. The song is called Money. Like, I didn't heard the song so many times. I didn't even realize it was a Korean girl singing the song. I thought it was like Doja Cat or something. I mean, I knew it wasn't Doja Cat because I could tell her voice, but I was shocked to know that it was a South Korean girl. The video is hype. Y'all can, after the stream, look at It's Money. I forgot the girl's name, but just type in Money K-pop or K-trap. I don't know if they've taken that name too, right? Abena says, loved Blood and Water. Yes, Blood and Water is good. It is a really good show. Palesa, you tried. Dumalang is pronounced Dumilong. Oh, Dumilong. So the last part of the word sounds like lung. Thank you. Okay, I got it. Dumilong. Okay, so I need to get that A. It's not like okay, got it. So Cape Town is historically not even a Black dominated area, mostly whites and coloreds. We're descended from Khoisan. Yes. Yes. So when I was last here, I learned about the Khoisan people and that many of the Khoisan people don't want to be called coloreds anymore. And I know it's very sensitive, also controversial. Um, and because I recognize it's really sensitive, I don't really want to get into more than I already have. I want to be sensitive as I'm still learning and I don't know all the facts. Um, I don't know all the facts, but I recognize it is a very sensitive topic. So I want to honor your culture and honor the South African people and just like tread lightly on that. WT Funk says the golden bat in the cave. Oh, I know. Gosh, I hope it's not there anymore. I feel so conscious. Okay, hope it's not there anymore. All right. We couldn't see anything. Oh, you couldn't see anything. Okay, great. I felt it. It was like blowing in the wind. Okay. From US is too much, I think. What do you mean by too much? I agree. It's a lot. It's a lot, but not enough at the same time. A+ for attempting to pronounce your name. Thank you. I tried. If you brought your kids in SA, you can take them to Josie and Bryanson. It's a very good place for kids to play. Yes, I'm going to bring them. They're definitely coming. They had school to finish. I really wanted them to finish school. You know, we were in the US, and they missed a big part of their school year. So they needed to finish school. And I needed to get some work done. So I'm using this time, you know, as like a retreat for myself, a reward for myself and persevering through everything that I've gone through, an opportunity to reconnect with my South African friends and family. And yeah, working on some things, working on a book. So it's nice to not have the kids for like these things, but I miss them for sure. Um, so Imanati, did I say it right? I look South African. Soon you will see people like you in this land. Yeah, I agree. The real Clancy's tutorials, you were called Bantu and whites were called Europeans. Yes, I saw that. I saw in some ways they said white, colored, and Bantu. I thought that was interesting. And then in other research articles, I saw white, black, and colored. Um, Abena says, I look like I could be Fulani. Yeah, I mean, we're all up over, like, we're all different shades of melanin on this continent. But I do know this is where we're from. So this is where I'm from. So I welcome it. I welcome looking like anybody and everybody on the continent here. Ondela says, yep, that's true. Yes. Oh, I already answered that. Yeah, I already responded to that. So yeah, you're affirming what I'm saying. That's great. I lost the chat. Okay. In some other places, blacks are also were called Africans. Okay, yeah. So that's what I mean. The information is really different. Even now, for B, Indians and Chinese are considered black because they didn't benefit from apartheid. Y'all, if Indians and Chinese were black in America, they would have all the problems. Okay, they would be uprising every day. They'd be marching every day to not be black. So that is crazy. Yes. Oh wow. I was so intrigued. I am blown away by that. Can you tell? um, Tolo, you worked with a nurse who was Filipino American. She told me there was a woman in the neighborhood where she grew up that used to refer to her family as the ornamentals. Ornamentals or the Orientals? The ornamentals. That's not, I shouldn't laugh at that. But it's funny. That's funny, Tolo. Thanks. You have done your homework. Or no, you're not talking to me. Everyone was made black. We were classified according to white, Indian, colored, and black. White got the best of everything, and black got the worst. Yeah, blacks were at the bottom of the totem pole, and it's y'all's land. Yeah, 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 and yeah. So we'll get into more of that. Racial categorization considered various phenotypes with whites on top and colors who arrived 9 months after whites came, and Indians and blacks at the end, brown people. Yeah. One says you're from the Khoi people. Then they're Xohsa, Zulu, San, Griqua. Did I say right? Griqua. They started calling people the black and colored. Juan, let me know how you feel about what I said about the Khoisan people not wanting to be colored. Or are you considered colored or do you consider yourself Khoisan? Let me know. Pum is pronounced pum, like doom, but start with a P. Thank you. Y'all are getting me together in these comments. I appreciate it. Affirmative action in South Africa considers non-white races as black. Y'all. Hi, Tinka. What's up? Hello, welcome. Wow, you pronounce my name very well. Ondela. Thank you. Ondela. Ondela. Yeah. I don't remember what I said, but thank you. I'm glad. Thank you for complimenting my attempt. Richard, so you must visit the biggest church in South Africa and think Telo. Oh, I don't know that. I don't know how to pronounce the last part. We keep going through the comments. Also, while we were all classified as black, still we were separated blacks, colors, Indians, whites. We had separate residential areas, township suburbs. We've been through a lot. Yeah, the South African people have been through a lot. Resilient, brilliant, compassionate. I learned so much. I mean, there's nowhere, I'm saying, in America you can go where a black person speaks more than 5 languages. Nowhere. Okay? Not even more than 2, if I'm being honest. Okay, all right. Atabong Wung. Yeah. All right. I've had that conversation before, so you're affirming what I said or what I've been told and how I've been corrected. They are unique and organic. Coloreds versus Khoisan. I don't like how US treats black people. Whom? You and me both. You and me both. That's why I've gone to where I'm treated best. I don't like it either. Khoisan are not coloreds. The Khoisan are the indigenous of South Africa. Yes, yes. Yes, I do understand that. How are you feeling? You had surgery? Yes, I did have surgery and I'm feeling great. I'm recovering really well. Probably almost 99% now. Like I didn't have any pain or discomfort when I was coming and traveling through the airport. It's a global issue. Black people are treated bad everywhere. Yeah. Yeah. Why some Americans think we live with lions in our yards. Ulani. I don't know. Well, one, they've been told and have been given a picture of what Africa is. And that is really the biggest gag there is. Right? We are just not educated on anywhere outside of America. Most Americans, right? Most native born Americans, I wouldn't even say first generation, because if you have foreign immigrant parents, you know what another country looks like. You typically know the culture of your parents' country if you're first generation. So people whose second, whose lineage is American, they don't know anything about anything outside of America. And it's quite sad. It's just, there's an ignorance there. And I think that's why I'm so intrigued, right? Because I'm learning all of these things and they're not available online. Like this is me talking to the South African people to be educated. And even when I've tried to like research it myself, I couldn't find it, right? So it's so important that we tell our stories. I love seeing South Africans on YouTube sharing their stories, sharing history, because we want to know. People are interested in learning more about your country, and I'm not qualified to share the history of South Africa. Only what I learned, and also recognizing that what I learned is hearsay. So I need other people to verify what I'm saying to make sure that it's right. Yeah. So you guys are talking. Yeah, you're letting people know. Random question: what is the best cell phone service? So I have Vodacom. I don't know if it's the best, but it's what I have and it's decent, works. Can make phone calls, get data. It's great. Boom, even government called them black, but they don't like to be called black. So you have to be careful, especially colors here in the Cape. Yeah, I do. I hear that like coloreds do not like to be called black, or Khoisan do not like to be called black. And like it's very important that you designate them as so. Yeah, I understand that. So Jewel talks about the white supremacist pastor in South Africa making plans to poison Black Africans. Okay, hi Jewel. So Jewel and I had an exchange in the comments about her perception of South Africa. So, Jewel, I think you're, based on your comments, I would assume that you're Black American, right? Like, and when we get news about South Africa, it's always the worst. So it leads to why African Americans have a perception of America, and many have a negative perception of South Africa because we get negative news. You're going to hear about when something bad happens in Africa before you will ever hear something good happening in South Africa. And so our exchange in the comments was what she had heard from her research of what the ruling class was here in South Africa. And, you know, I invited her to do a little bit more research and understanding actually what that means, what ruling means in the presence of wealth. So as I opened up the stream, I learned yesterday that the richest woman in South Africa is actually classified as Black. So while the perspective is that white Africans or white Afrikaans or white Dutch, so-called Dutch, run and own South Africa, in fact, the richest woman is a Black South African woman. So it is important to just have a perspective and not focus solely on the negative and be open to understanding and inviting in new learnings, because oftentimes what we hear, what we're taught is not always the best thing. And yeah, okay, so you heard about the white supremacist pastor in South Africa making plans to poison the Black Africans, right? Was that accurate? Yes. Was that an actual fact? Yes. I also invite you to review the fact that America is poisoning all of the Black Americans in America. They are doing that every day by the food that you're eating, by what is in the water in many of the main cities in the US. So Flint, Michigan isn't the only city with tainted water. Google that, right? So like, let's just be aware of the energy that we're perpetuating and the information that we're learning and sharing, because there is always a different perspective and likely a different truth, right? There is the truth, there is your truth, my truth, and somewhere in between, right? So like, let's focus on and give ourselves opportunity to learn positive things, different things about these countries, especially in this critical time where Black people in America are being treated horribly, right? And like, we have an opportunity as Black Americans to explore the world. And honestly, the people of South Africa are welcoming us. And we have an opportunity to humble ourselves and be open to learning and not believing everything that we hear, especially if it's just from YouTube, right? All right, so let me get into more of these comments. Yeah, that's interesting. You don't understand why some of us are being called Black. Yeah, so that's the thing, is like, how would I even identify a South African colored? Because so many coloreds look different, like colored people look different. So I just don't assume, and I don't even, I kind of leave that alone. I'm learning, so I'm being patient with that. So yay, we got 105 people in the chat, in the live. Welcome. Be sure to like the stream, get involved in the chat. It is very lit in the chat. I'm gonna look for questions mostly because y'all are so live. I appreciate it. Most of us are Christian, but Africa's religions. Exactly. Abena says Abna. Oh, Abna. Abna means female, born on Tuesday. Tuesday links to the goddess of water or ocean energy. Most of us are Christian, Muslim, but African spirituality is the root of all religions. Ashe. Ashe. So Palesa asks, how do you feel about one drop rule in America? A lot of Americans don't like the idea, I believe. Yeah, I think as interracial relationships are becoming more popular based on the way that society, media, um, mostly is like media is encouraging integration of relationships. There is a big community of multiracial people that feel like they don't want to be identified as one race. They want to be identified as mixed or half black, half white. Um, Historically, if you had a drop of black blood, you were considered black and you were treated as black if you could not pass. So I don't really have an opportunity to say whether I like it or not. I mean, people could choose how they want to be identified, but it's important to know your history. And it's challenging now because so many people are like multicultural, right? Like interracial dating, interracial marriage is like super normal. In fact, it's marketed, right? So like there's a whole lot of destruction happening in the black family, and this idea that it's better on the other side, and it's so unfortunate, so destructive. But there's just that population of people feel like they have an opportunity to choose, and who am I to tell them they don't, right? So Bongani says, welcome, sister. Love your channel. Good book to read about the people of South Africa. South Africa by Patrick Tariq Mellet. It's called The Lie of 1652. All right, I'm copying and pasting that. Thank you for recommending that. Yeah, I'm trying to learn. I really enjoy learning in general, but like about African history is really, really intriguing, really important because we are not taught these things in America. We don't know nothing about nothing unless it's America, or it's something bad going on in the world, right? Like that's only international news we know of is the bad stuff in America. Mengele, only Maasai people of Tanzania cohabitate with lions. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and they're also herders, like by not say by trade, but the Maasai are the folks that herd the goats and the cow in Tanzania, and I guess they do cohabitate with lions. But I saw some people in like Zimbabwe, I think, that like don't cohabitate, but they're very comfortable with lions, like very comfortable. Is that a concept too, or no? Am I reaching? Yeah. So this white guy was convicted and sentenced. That wouldn't happen in America. Hold on to that, right? He was convicted. It is illegal here to be and practice racism, like illegal. You will go to jail, right? Like racism is allowed in America. In fact, it is structurally ingrained in the system and will never change unless they change the Constitution, which is 400 years old, right? Mambo VP, Safi, Crunk King. It's healthy proper verification for rich black women in South Africa. Oh, that needs verification, right? Well, you gotta look at the. I looked at her and I said she don't look all white. I saw her dad, but I couldn't find any pictures of her mom, which again gave me reason to question. South Africa's biggest and wealthiest black middle and upper class in the whole country. Correct, but people overlook that in favor of the apartheid white man narrative. I agree. That is right. I mean, the biggest, wealthiest black middle and upper class, so where I'm staying in Sandton is the richest square mile in South Africa, also kind of combats with Nigeria as the richest country annually. Excuse me, annually. There's always back and forth based on GDP and whose economy is doing better. And South Africans, Black South Africans are doing well here. In fact, I would argue better here than in the US because Black South Africans here, for the most part, if they're second generation, they've they operate on a cash system, right? So like mortgage financing, that's new. That's less than 100 years old. So everybody been putting things on credit in the US for centuries. And so that's the difference here. It's just a stark difference. And it's really hard to experience unless you've experienced it or explain because it's hard to fathom. It's just hard to fathom for people that are not or haven't had a privilege of experiencing the South African culture because you have no idea. And I oftentimes try to communicate my experience because one, it's important that I just share my perspective because there's not enough people doing that for South Africa. Myself, I had family members that were totally totally against me coming to South Africa. Like, were willing to put their lives on the line to lie and say that they don't like African Americans, they don't like Black people, they don't like women. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot for me getting here. And yeah, I mean, I will scream to the rooftop about what is happening here in South Africa because it's valuable and it needs to be seen. It needs to be celebrated around the world. Please talk to Go Black to Africa. Does he sound like a person that is reasonable to you? He has his perspective. He is convicted in his perspective. And he's had a, I don't want to say he was schooled, but the great philosopher, Dr. Assad, had a very, very strong response to his objectives around South Africa. And he had nothing to say. That was the first time I ever seen him speechless. But he has recently said some things, and we just let people talk, let people say what they say. Um, the next thing that I learned about, um, learned in my first 24 hours of being back in South Africa actually goes into that, right? So as a foreigner, right? Because I am a foreigner. However, I am considered myself a repatriate of the continent of Africa and, doing business, whatever. I'm learning. I am humbling myself to experience a new way of life and coming to a country to seek a better life for myself and my children. So, how dare I not humble myself to attempt to integrate into your society? Um, with the utmost humility, right? Like, how do I expect to have a positive experience, enjoy and experience positive energy, and be successful if I'm not doing these things? So, my friend, he works in international business, and he said something that was really, um, it was just incredible. Like, I learned so much in that moment because he says he works with a lot of different people and, all over the world. And really, even though these foreign countries do business differently than he does, he's learned three C's: not to criticize, not to condemn, and not to complain. Because where have you ever gotten ahead doing any one of those three things? So not only was that applicable in business, but I feel like especially as a foreigner attempting to repatriate to a country. Well, Black Americans, while South Africa is the people of South Africa have been the most welcoming overall to me and my family versus, the only other countries I've been to, which are Tanzania and Ethiopia and Malawi recently. Not to say that people weren't welcoming, right? But like there is just an openness, a familiarity that South Africans have with South Black Americans because South Africans are exposed to our culture in America, where much of the continent is not. So it's no slight to these countries that I've been to because I wouldn't say I ever felt unwelcome, but there is just a different compassion, like tangible welcome that I feel with the South African people. And why would I criticize? Like, what good does it do me? Right? I'm not going to criticize this country that I'm looking to seek a better life in. Um, and I'm not going to condemn, right, what I don't know or really anything in general, because, the old saying is the man that thinks he knows everything knows nothing at all. So, as the person that you're referencing in the chat, right, that's a person that thinks they know everything about the continent. And they have a huge platform of people that listen. And, it's tough. It is what it is. But South Africa only needs the right people. Y'all don't need everybody, and y'all don't want everybody, right? Y'all need the right people here, collaborating, showing love, bringing positive vibes, positive energy. Everybody else can kick rocks. Like, South Africans are unbothered. Um, but not really. I mean, South Africans, you guys are so patriotic that you don't stand for the nonsense. And I respect that as well. But y'all are here living your best lives. And granted, it's not perfect. And I'm not saying South Africa is perfect, right? You all are very much aware of the challenges that you face. But y'all are living good. And your country has come a long way. And I believe that you know that, while you're also very critical of where the country could be. Right? Okay, so let's get back into the comments. Um, South Africa. So Joy says South Africa is the best place today and in the future, especially for business opportunities with clean energy, within clean energy. I'm South African living in London and can't wait to be home. Oh, Joy, come back home. Come back home. I agree. South Africa is the now and the future. Correct. Unbothered Potential says Ashley is a woman of virtue. Why, thank you. Jewel Nye says, note that. What you mean, Jewel? I appreciate you, Jewel, adding value, conversation to the community. People are definitely happy, like engaging with you. So I hope it's all positive. Loving South Africa, not just liking, loving. Yes, Clantis tutorial says the interesting thing is the same people who talk bad about South Africa are people vacationing here. Yes, they own property here. So many of the properties I looked at are owned by Americans. And I know it's not Black Americans. They are some of the highest visa seekers in the international, the home affairs. White Americans, they've been coming here. White Americans been coming to South Africa for years, okay? While they're telling us it's stricken with poverty and disease. Don't trust them folk. And don't let what they're doing discourage you from coming here and experiencing your best life and your people. These are your people. These are our people. Y'all are my people. I'm your people. We're each other's people. Juan says, what type of sports do I like besides basketball and the NFL? I have new feelings about sports in America. I used to really be like a college football fanatic. I went to a really big college football school, Florida State University. So football, actual like American football. And I used to love college football. And now I feel like football, NFL in the US is very reflective of slavery, if I'm being honest. The way, all of the teams are owned by white people, the majority of the players are Black, the way that their contracts are set up, the way they get paid, it's not positive. It is not beneficial to a lot of the players. They have a lot of trauma, physical and mental trauma when they leave the NFL. So I'm not really, I feel different about sports these days. I am enjoying, soccer, football here. I'm enjoying getting to know that. I'm enjoying the culture. I love like fan culture. So I'm slowly, but I also know like there's that. That's not necessarily, it's not the cleanest sport either. So I don't know. I didn't really answer that question. So South Africa's my home. Says when she travels from New York to South Africa, you only see white Americans on the airplanes. Facts. I was flying from, I was flying internationally, but intracontinentally. So there were many Africans on my flight, and I've only traveled from another African country here, but that's what I heard. Yeah, I mean, but there was some on that flight. They're everywhere. So while people think, oh, I'm going to go to Ghana because I don't want to be around white people, you won't get there. You're going to see Turkish, Lebanese, Italian. They're there in Tanzania and Tanzania. They're there. The Turkish, the Indian, right? I think somebody's saying, oh, the corporations are owned by white people, the land is owned. The corporation in these manufacturing facilities and these plants and these mining companies all over the continent are not owned. Majority of them are not owned by Africans. And we're changing that, right? That is something that we recognize need to be changed, but it's no reason to you know, put a bad name on a country because of that. Because the reality is, where are you from? And who owns your hood? Who owns the block your mama house is on? It's not Black Americans. So again, how dare we condemn or criticize where people choose to experience on the continent and then complain about how people respond to us? No. So I learned that. It was a very, very basic but powerful message that I learned last night at dinner in my first 24 hours of being back in South Africa. Over 300,000 white Americans live in South Africa. I believe it. I believe it. That's what Black Americans don't know. Over 300 white Americans live in South Africa. Ooh, she gathered us in the comments. Okay. South Africa is my home. So what you don't know is, so now what? Totally horrible in America, but essay look totally horrible in America, but essay look at the facts versus positive. You can hide all you want, but look. All right, Jewel. Totally horrible in America, but. And where are you? Where do you live, Jewel? Do you live in America? Don't go critiquing and criticizing on other people's country when you are paying into the very system that you're complaining about being horrible. And with love, my sis, like with love. Ondela, I think 1% of Black Americans would consider moving to South Africa due to lack of information. They don't show them the beauty of South Africa. I agree. I'm struggling with how I do my content because I'm not a blogger. So y'all know that by now. I don't vlog, but also I am, most of the time I'm solo. So like it's in my best interest to be very aware of my surroundings. And that's just not my skill set, right? I'm not an editor, but at some point, I hope to have more of a content team. So if you can continue to support the stream just by liking the videos, watching the videos, I am monetized now, so I don't make a lot of money off YouTube, but it will help. And if I can eventually have a videographer and an editing team, I will absolutely do videos to showcase the beauty of South Africa because it's beautiful, like, and luxurious. Y'all know I love to talk about luxury. Okay, so it's absolutely luxurious, and I hope to help with telling that story. But everyone here in the chat, you all can start your own YouTube and share the beauty of your country, because who better to do it than you? I would love to see more South Africans on YouTube sharing their stories. And I know there already are some, but there can be so many more. So yeah, y'all are so active in the chat. Continue to keep the likes up. This is fantastic. Y'all go hard for me, and I appreciate it. All right. A couple people, y'all look out for folks in the comments. I appreciate it. Y'all are holding it down. My knowledge of essay is minuscule. This is one of the reasons I subscribe to you. You want to be educated in real time. Yeah, I hope I'm helping. Yeah, and you're reading, you're doing your due diligence, right? So nobody is going to shift your perspective overnight, but I'm glad that I can add some value. Blue Arc says, "How is the economy in SA?" I mean, that's a really broad question, but some of the people in the chat have said the largest Black middle class population on the continent is here in South Africa. Are there challenges with unemployment? Absolutely. There are also challenges with immigration that is contributing to that unemployment number, but people live really well here. South Africa produces and distributes a lot of its own foods, fruits and vegetables. So when I went to Pick and Pay, no, Price, I forgot the name of the grocery store, but I got all the fruit that I got was sourced from South Africa. And that's a good thing when you're sustainable and you produce what you consume. I mean, excuse me, you consume what you produce and you produce what you consume. So that's a really great sign of a growing economy. So I hope that answered your question, but that's a really broad question. Joy says it's very exciting to see our highly educated American brothers and sisters coming back home while others are living in the country, while others are living the country. Yeah, I agree. Right. My colleague is British and her parents UK. She has been here for years. We also have Italians. Right. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot the British. They all up in this thing. Okay. White people own 72% of the farmland, which means we're fed by minority, not 90% of all land. The biggest landowner is the government. Thank you, Sean. Yes, because that's the number that I saw was closer to 70% of the farmland, but that number has been getting smaller, right? So like that number hasn't always been 72%. It was at 1.100%. And so since apartheid has ended, they are getting their land back, right? The Black South African people, the original owners of this land, are getting their land back. That is active change. Is it perfect? No, but it's active change. And that's what we should be paying attention to. That's important. That's an important metric, okay? That's so important. And I don't want to get into comparisons because it's not productive, but thank you for sharing that and adding value to our conversation. I really appreciate that. So Zika says if there are 300,000 white Americans, how many Black Americans? Are you saying Black Africans? African and proud. It's great to see you too. People, if you want to know about South Africa, go watch the Real South Africa YouTube channel. Yes, the Real South Africa, that's what they do. They focus on tourism. So they're going to show you the beauty of what it would be like to be a tourist here and, sometimes even live. Tayo Aina is here doing some content. Yes. Y'all reach out to Tayo and see if he'll do a collab with me. I wanted to do a collab with him while he was here. So how many Black Americans? Not enough. Not enough. I wouldn't even say there are more than 5,000. And I think that would be aggressive, right? Even in Ghana, whites own farmland. Of course they do. In Tanzania, Germans own many of the coffee farms. Don't think I'll be solo long. Ow. I'm manifesting that. I'm manifesting that. Thank you, Blue Arc. I love your videos. Thank you, Juan, so much. How do we go about finding a place to stay? What do you mean? They got Airbnb, girl. They got booking.com. Do you mean like permanently or like as a visitor? I mean, you can literally go on Airbnb and look at places. Yeah, they have technology. They have Uber. They're a little bit more technologically advanced than we are in the US. And it's affordable coming from the US. I think the quality of life is really what I talk about here, because the rent compared to the incomes in America aren't, maybe the incomes aren't comparable to the African incomes, aren't comparable to American incomes, but the rent, the percentage of your income that your rent takes up is so much smaller here in South Africa. The rent to income ratio is smaller in South Africa than the rent to income ratio in America, meaning you will have a better quality of life. You might make more money in America, but your quality of life is going to suffer indefinitely. Thank you, Mike. I always bring a positive, good vibe. Yeah, good video. Thank you. I try. If I start my YouTube channel as an SA citizen, will I support it? Of course. Totally. We can collaborate. Since being in Africa, do you have a boyfriend here? And if you do, what African country is he from? I don't have a boyfriend. Uh-oh. The chat's moving fast. You're helping, Ashley. I'm grateful for your channel. It's a reason why I continue to follow your channel on social media. Thank you, Tinka. Thank you. I appreciate it. Mike Myers, I agree with you. It's her business. Oh, I answered the question. I'm pretty transparent, y'all. If I don't want to answer, I'm not going to answer. But, you know, I'm manifesting that energy. Thank you. Don't let the naysayers derail you. No, I'm not. It's been an interesting process, but my positive attitude will go a long way in my family integration. Thank you so much. Thanks for making these informative videos. I'm going to come to visit South Africa and more. El Boogie Speaks to show. Yes, please come. They're welcoming us here. We are welcome here in South Africa. You wish more Black Africans would go to South Africa. You agree also, the real Clantis tutorial. Yeah, Mike. Yes, my friend was telling me, Joy, he said going to Maldives, all you need is a job to go to Maldives in South Africa, where meanwhile, you gotta save up like your whole life, like 5 years to go to Maldives from America. The shopping, the Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Cartier, Chanel, Fendi is common here. The cars, the lifestyle, the homes, the golf courts, the country clubs, the real estate, the equestrian centers. I mean, it's a straight luxury here. And is that everybody's experience? No. But slowly, the economic shift is happening and it is on the rise. So I'm not into farming, Fanny. I have all of my licenses for a coffee business. And while I want to have my own farm, eventually my own homestead, which I never did before, I want to do that. I definitely want to do that here in South Africa. And really just supporting where I can. And like, I don't know how much land I could actually get as a foreigner, farming land, because I understand most of the rural land is owned by chiefs. But I'm open to looking at it. I'd love to learn more about that and my opportunities with that, because I definitely believe agriculture is really like the future of business, if not like already the business. But South Africa, agriculture here on the continent is really going to push, and the manufacturing and production of goods is going to push Africa into what will be the most viable continent in the 23rd century. Yeah. All right. Please check out what happened to the white person. Oh, yes. I heard about that, Sean. The white supremacist and his farm. Yeah. Got dealt with. Yeah. Yeah. So when people hear a lot of about the violence, again, it's typically the stuff that happens, the bad stuff that's happening to the white South Africans. And I don't encourage or condone violence, but I do believe people deserve their reparations. Okay. And that's what South Africans are getting now. Is it perfect? Again, no, but it's progress. And can't say the same for the U.S. as it pertains to Black Americans. Hitman 96, how often do I come back to the States? Never. If I don't have to. I don't have an interest in coming back to the States. I was back in the States visiting family, and it was really a not so positive experience that made me realize that I have no reason to return back to the States. If anything, my family can come visit us here on the continent. Yeah, I know a couple people left. I actually am in contact with a couple of the folks that you mentioned, Mike Jew, he's in Tanzania, and Julian Albino in Nairobi. I think they all plan to come back as well. They love it here. Yeah. Doja Cat, she is African American, but her father, right, was born in South Africa. She didn't mention her relationship with him, but it doesn't make her not South African or of South African descent. The European worked so hard to separate South African from Africa. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. They have. But I'd say, it's been less effective than what it's looked like in the US, with Europeans separating Black Americans. And so y'all have been dope. Like, I really enjoyed this live. Yeah, let me know. Y'all are dope. I value this time. I really enjoyed this. I was so nervous, but y'all made me feel so welcome. Continue, to share the stream. I'm gonna go live as much as I can. While I'm here, I'm gonna meet up with a couple people, some of your faves. I'm gonna meet up with Dr. Latasha Blanton, with the Real South Africa. I'm gonna meet up with Asha Means Life and a couple diasporans that are visiting on their discovery trip. So I appreciate y'all. Welcome. I appreciate the welcome, the love. It's everything. It means so much. Yeah, so this last question, Hitman 96, how's the education like compared to the States? My experience has been the education is more advanced than education in the US. The children are more prepared for the global economy that we currently live in. They learning multiple languages at the age of 5, starting at the age of 5. Science is taught in the schools in primary, meaning, early education. Quite frankly, there is little comparison. The education is premium, and well more advanced than that of the US. And they're being taught positive things about their Blackness. And again, maybe not all schools, right? But that's my experience. So thank you everyone for being active on the live stream. Thank you for bearing with me. If you're watching the replay, be sure to like the stream, click the link below in my bio if you have an interest in learning more about my journey to the continent. If you are interested in moving your business, bringing your family to South Africa or Tanzania, I'd love to work with you. And I will see you in the next video.